right, it's getting close. I'm just having a quick bite to refill my energy. I noticed I was getting a little shaky with some of the brush strokes. Hopefully this will help to balance that out. Help to balance out the caffeine, the excessive amount of caffeine. Okay, next up I'm going to use a dry brush and some of this Minotaur hide. And a dry brush is a technique where you saturate the brush with, and you need a special type of brush. You need like these types of brushes work well for a dry brush, but you're just basically putting on a fine layer of paint, just very fine layers, and you're going to sort of reestablish the base coat a little bit. So you know. You're going to get your dry brush here. This one is a Vallejo dry brush. I don't think it's ever been used. I think it would work well for this application. But I think I'm going to try this one that I just picked up with the Golden Maple series of brushes that I got off of Amazon. Super cheap, like I said, not expensive. And there's one in particular here I feel like would really do well. But it's still just a little too wet. So I'm just going to give it another couple minutes here. We'll see how it goes. It should be dry enough in just a few more seconds. In the meantime, I'm going to pop another bite of food into my mouth. I promise you I will eat before I come to my next stream. Okay. I'm just going to use a little dab of the Minotaur hide. And then I'm not putting it on my wet palette because I don't really need it to stay wet. I just need it to be accessible here for my dry brush. All right, soak it all up nice and good. And then I'm going to wipe it all off. Okay. Okay, it's dry. And I tend to kind of try to go the same direction with my my dry brushing. Mm-hmm. Just like that. Just like that. And yeah, it's really just thin coats of paint. That's really all there is to it. Oop. All there is to it. It's thin coats of paint. Building up in layers. That's what really makes the acrylic paint so so easy to work with, is just the way that you can build them up in layers. One layer on top of the other. Till you get where you're going. Okay. Looking good, my giant eagle friend. Yeah. Yep, I love to dry brush. Just a great way to get some good detail. All right, now whenever you use a dry brush, it's important to really clean out your brush well afterwards. So you've got to dip it in a little water, not all the way up to the tines, but then you're going to want to just really get it in the cleaner, and then wash it out good afterwards. And if you take care of your brushes, they'll take care of you. All right. Okay, one more cleaning here. And I try really hard not to let it get up past a certain, like here. But you can just, you can use makeup brushes for this. It's great. But you really got to clean them out afterwards. Just do your best to really get some good soap. And dip them in it a couple times. Do a good cleaning. Okay. Now I'm going to get another little dry brush out here, and I'm going to use that Oat Yug Brown on his feet area right here, and just sort of reestablish that. So again, whatever dry brush you use is fine, but it's nice to have a little. This is my classic D&D dry brush here, and it's a little frizzed out, so I'm gonna go ahead and use something a little smaller. I think this one is going to work out really well for this application. I'm going to, again, get a lot of paint on my brush and then wipe it off. And honestly, the truth of it is that with that Oat Yug Brown, it was so thin. I feel like I need it to be a little more pigmented for this. So that's pretty thick, but I'm going to just go in here, wipe it off, wipe most of it off, and then just kind of reestablish that upper level, upper layer of paint. Okay. All right. Now those little minis just get so much abuse when they get that base, when they get that wash on them. Next up is the Lawful White. Well, actually, I'm going to dry brush the feathers with the Orc Skin again to bring them back up first, and then we'll do the Lawful White will come. It'll get there. Dip it in there and wipe most of it off. Seems like such a waste. There's methods to the madness. Okay. Let's see if this works. Okay. And then up here. Brush all those little feathers. Real good. Really bring up that gray that got beaten down in the wash. Yeah. A little bit more. Just try my best to bring out the details. But it works. Okay. All right. Not too much. Yeah. Okay. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Go ahead and clean my brush out really well here. Put a little soap on it. Next up, we need a little bit more Cambion Crimson on the tongue, and we're just going to use the smallest brush possible here almost to do that. Go ahead and get this 3-0. Use a little soap to get the end back nice and manageable if I can. I don't know, this tip, this thing, it might be time to throw it away. Seen some hard use. We'll see. Oh my. The whole thing is clotted up. Okay. Okay. Done. Okay, now Fire Newt Orange. And yeah, this is going to be a little delicate, so I'm going to put the goggles on. And I'm just, sorry, out of the this is very tedious work, but eventually you get through it. Just having the hardest time trying to focus here, but that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, it's a little. I think there's a couple little areas that need just a little. Yeah, just a little too dark. And this red down here makes it look like he's kind of trailing some blood out of his mouth. And hopefully that'll work. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to use a little of the ruddy skin here to highlight the skin tones. So I'm going to shake this up real good. And then just on the tip tops of his feet, we're going to use this. Actually, okay, so I'm going to shake this up good, and then I'm just going to add it to, and I'm going to go over this is tedious work, but I'm going to be using it to highlight the feathers. So let's see how this works. I'm going to get, I'm going to get a nice good line edge brush here, and I feel like my nice good line edge brush is maybe this one. Okay, and I'm going to take the ruddy skin and I'm going to very closely go down the middle of the feather, and I might need to switch to a much smaller brush, but oh yeah. Kind of neat, but it's going to be kind of meticulous work going through here. But that being said, it's going to look amazing. So that's my job for the next however many minutes, is to just go through here and very carefully edge and highlight by drawing this line here through the middle, and we'll see how it goes. All right. So I'm gonna get to work. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this brush. I'm going to try another brush real quick. I'm going to try, yeah, my 000. It's just this type of moment that this brush was really made for. So tiny. Okay, it's coming along. Again, just going in here and finding the lines in the middle of these feathers. And just trace them out here. Tracing down the middle. And doing my best here to keep the brush from getting overloaded with paint, because that can easily happen. Then after I get done with these lines, then it's all about going back and doing the edges as well. I guess the way I feel about it is that our druid is really probably going to want to start spending a lot of time in giant eagle form. It says the druids get so comfortable in their wild shape that they just want to stay that way forever. So, yeah, if that's the case, then I hope our druid is happy with his giant eagle. I feel like this is much easier to kind of multitask with just my one viewer. I don't know what I would do if there were hundreds of people here watching me right now, expecting me to respond. One thing I probably wouldn't be doing is getting this mini painted. I'm very easily distracted. So, okay, no more water. And a brush to clean it out. I think more soap. back at it. All right. Yeah, this music that I have going in the background, these animal sounds are just perfect. Just what I need for getting in the spirit of painting this giant eagle. Oh, I'm completely off screen almost. I apologize. Very delicate work, you know. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Now, just a few more left. Ugh. Okay. All right. Now, to edge highlight, I'm going to switch back to this brush. I'm going to load it up here and then unload it. And I'm just going to try to highlight these edges a little bit. And I'm holding the brush at an angle, and I'm just sort of trying to get it just lightly. Just sort of lightly along the edges. And I think the effect is actually pretty nice. Again, just kind of holding it at an angle here. I'm holding it at an angle to get like the least amount of contact with the surface as possible. Ouch. Sounds like I'm a little too powerful. Sorry, I am just so having a good time right now. I'm so invested in my work. I'm not even saying anything just because I'm just enraptured by the joy of doing what I love. So I know I'm not providing the best commentary, but you know what? If as long as I feel like doing my best to keep the miniature in focus, I'm doing a good job. Okay. Yeah, that's just a great, oh my gosh, the color combination just really pops. All right. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I'm going to use my old D&D dry brush here. Get some of this on here. Do just a wipe down. Get as much off as I can. And then use this to just kind of go in here. Okay. And I'm just doing a little dry brush here and try not to go too crazy. But feathers are coming along nice, I feel like. Okay, next. The white feathers as well here need the same sort of a treatment, but with the lawful white. So I'm going to get my trusty long-handled delivery brush here. Get ready. Put down a little lawful white. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Not bad. This white needs a little more water. I'll wet it down. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit here. Let me see. Maybe just a little bit of flow improver. If I can find it. This is my airbrush flow improver thinner. But I think it'll be nice to be able to really dial in that white in the middles. Okay. Paint it here first just to kind of see. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Oh, no. It's too wet. Oh my goodness. All right. Doing my best here to just use a little edge highlighting with the lawful white. Just on the tips of these feathers here. Yeah. Okay. That was a little ouch. A little too much. This is kind of the part where I feel like it really starts to kind of work out and look good. So I'm just going in again with the Lawful White and just trying to kind of edge highlight just a little bit here. And it can be a little bright like that. Some of these little areas are a little ouchy. They're still too bright, but as I kind of go in here, it starts to work. So go back to the job at hand. Right, it gets just a little more here. I'm going to go back to his head. The tip top of his head. Just try to pick out some of these details. Okay. All right. Oh boy. So I've been very quiet, I know that, but it's just really close detail work here. And it's a lot of fun, but it kind of requires a lot of close concentration as well. But it's enjoyable. Okay. So I'm gonna put the pupils in on his eyes. Probably some more. I feel like this is a little strong right here. I guess I'll touch some of this up later, but for the moment, sorry. Let's see. Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna speed things up because this is about the end of hour 2, and things are starting to get dark outside. So I think for the sake of brevity, all right, I'm gonna do, yeah, his pupil and his tongue. Use a little of this pixie dust pink to do his tongue here. Ooh. And then I have this angelic yellow for his eyes. So just bring out the beautiful colors of his eyes. Okay. Yeah, like I said, some of these got a little, I think that's too much, right? Just gonna go back in here. A little back and forth. Yeah, okay. Okay, so next I said there was going to be this little bit of pink for his tongue. Ooh. I don't feel like that pink. I feel like pink is a hard. Just having a heck of a time with it here. It's all clumped up in the bottom. I can feel it kind of shaking back and forth. But I'm just not getting good pigment. Ooh, there we go. That's the pigment. I don't know why, but I feel like pinks are just... difficult colors to get to mix properly sometimes. Okay, but that did get down in there. Just gonna get the yellow eyes going. And then I'm going to draw the slit in them. And then I'm going to put a little dot, if I can. But these eyes are super small, so... that's going to be a trick. I got absolutely zero paint on there. Okay. Yeah. Almost done. Okay. So I normally, to do pupils, use like one of these little pens. I just get the black and then come in and like do the black pupil in the middle of the eye. But it's going to be a minute before it's dry enough to do that. So I'm going to use just a little bit of this fair skin here to get the tips of his talons. And where's my sweet little 000? Okay. Get in here. Get just a little bit of this. Maybe not necessary, but it doesn't hurt. Okay. All right. In the meantime, I am going to get the base ready here. I'm just going to use a little Battlefield. I'm going to use some glue and some Battleground Brown. And yeah, you get it. You can use like an older brush. So I'm just going to use like one of my not so good brushes. And I'm going to put a little glue on it. And I'm going to take the base, because it's really all about that base. And I'm going to put some glue on it here. This is just, standard Elmer's glue. Nothing special about it, nothing fancy. Put it down in here. It's okay to go wild. And it's kind of uniform here in texture for the most part, this base. Actually, I'm going to take a couple of my Battlefield rocks here. The big ones. I've got a couple different sizes. So I'm going to take the bigger ones, maybe. Just to break up the texture a little bit. And then I'm going to use some smaller ones here. And just kind of put them in. And then last but not least is the Battleground Brown. And the way that I normally do this is just kind of hold it above the thing here, and then kind of give it a sprinkle. Oop, try not to get it in my wet palette. But you get the idea. You see what's going on here. Okay. All right, there we go. So now that can just kind of sit and dry. And we can put a little drop of super glue in here. And then we can put one on the bottom of the base. Oop. Yikes. Should have tapped that off a little. There we go. Tap, tap, tap. Put the cover back on the glue so it doesn't dry out. And where's my super glue? It's gone. That's all right. It's okay. It doesn't have to be super glued down this moment, but I'm going to go ahead and put the dots in there for the eyes. And so I'm going to try it here on my arm. Oh, it looks like this pen. Oh, there we go. I don't use these for anything but the occasional eye dot. So I don't know how they could be dried up, is what I'm saying. I don't put enough eye dots on to dry them out. It's got to be horrible to watch. It's horrible to do. Yeah, it got dried out halfway through. Okay. I know. Okay. At this point, I'm just going to put a little bee boop off of white right there and call it a day. It's been tough. More difficult than I thought. One more time. Yeah. Caw. Ooh. One more time. Okay, well. All right. So now I'm just going to glue him to his base here. And so there we have it. Approximately how he would look. Oops. After I glue him to his base. Let me see if I can find that super glue and then we'll call it a night. I think that is... Alright, so before we put on final wraps here, I just want to say again, thank you. Thank you, mysterious stranger, whoever you are, for staying this whole entire time. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate your company. I felt like I was keeping it real by being able to talk to somebody. So thank you. And I really should have tried putting this in before I put the glue on. Though I kind of did, I guess. I don't know, it's just... doesn't seem to be sitting right for some reason here. Let me check the reference photo. Okay, so he's at an angle. This is like this. Yeah, and he's coming up. Okay. I'm trying everything I can here to find a... All right, I suppose that is where we will stop for today. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on put this on a base. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a drop of super glue there, and then I'm going to use this. Oops. I'm going to just spray a little squirt of this activator here. And then, voila. Okay. I'm done. Painted a giant eagle for the Dungeons & Dragons table. I'm definitely going to need to go back in a little bit and put some more glue down along the base there, but I'll probably put a couple tufts. Actually, I can do that right. I can do this right now before I finish. And if you're the one person who stayed here tonight, thank you again so much for keeping me company throughout this process. And I don't know. I kind of hope that people want to see this kind of content. I'll try to get a little better about focusing in, but also still maintaining some dialogue. Go ahead and throw this away. And I thank you. Thank you again for being here. So, if you like this kind of content, stick with me. I can't guarantee I'm going to be doing it all the time. I can't guarantee how often I'll do it. I'm trying. I tell you what, I would rather do this sometimes than other things. So if you would rather watch this than other things, then maybe it can work. You know? That's what I'm saying. Maybe it can work. You and me, viewer. Together for a million years. A million more streams. www.amillionmorestreams.com with Brandon and viewer. Oh, viewer. You just wait. Good things are coming. Okay. One more little dosing of Battleground Brown. Okay. All right, so there we have it, right? That is our eagle for the D&D table. It's table ready, is how I feel about it, you know? My druid will be happy. He can fly his giant eagle around the table when we're in combat. But I'm a little disappointed with him because as I was doing this, as I was preparing, I found out he's only level 7. And yeah, as I've mentioned a few times, you got to be level 8 to fly your giant eagle or transform into your giant eagle as a druid. So, I'm gonna have to probably pull him aside and talk to him about that. Maybe not in front of everybody. Okay. Well, again, thank you so much for coming and being a part of it. And I hope you enjoyed yourself. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you fell asleep. I don't know. But I'm glad you were here nonetheless. So thanks again. And we'll see you next time on Painting Miniatures for Dungeons & Dragons with Brandon the White.